I don't think we are treating them fabulously as we should. Before this squad left the country, there were some mamas that there are certain allowances that had not been paid, or there are certain promises that the government was reneging on.
Actually, Julius Yego mentioned that there's a directive that was given by the president, and to date, as by the time he was leaving, they still had not been given that money.
Yes, so you know, we expect these guys to go out there and perform very well, and we assume that their performance, they will be paid by, you know, in terms of prizes. You know, we leave them on their own. Yet, as a nation, we are the beneficiaries of their success. And I'll say it again, in terms of branding power, in fact, this year, there are 3 events that have significantly enhanced our standing in the global scale. One, Obama's visit. It allowed us to get coverage on television channels that we wouldn't have gotten. Number 2, this success in athletics. And number 3 will be the visit of the Pope later on in the year. If we look at the worth of that brand visibility, the increase in our brand perception, and the very positive brand perception, despite the very many challenges that we have back here at home. You know, when someone says we are a hotbed of terror, probably they just use the wrong terminology, but it does not mean that there's no terrorism here in Kenya. It's still there. But our athletes allow the world to look at us from a different perspective. We must treat them better. But also for posterity, we need to be much more firm and focused and come up with a program that will ensure that we've got a pipeline of budding athletes who will see Kenya win the world championships in the next 15 or 20 years. Sports is one of the things that has been devolved, has been pushed down to the county governments. And I want now the governors to, as they think about building roads, as they think about providing water, they must also make it an agenda to ensure that sports is nurtured. And the different corners of this country, there are areas where people, you know, are fishermen, and they swim every other day. And you wonder why we have never produced world champion swimmers. You go to Rusinga and Pangano, where I come from, or some of the islands where Senator Hassan Omar represents. It's because at the local level we are not doing enough to ensure that these people, we support them, we nurture them so that they can burst into the global limelight. But small things like allowances, surely in this time and age, such a successful squad should not be running around and asking to be paid allowances, which really is a pittance compared to what they win.